Okay, the extremely popular stake percentage return question. It's going to be a longer video than normal, so I'm going to break it down step by step. Once you've watched the video, check out the link in the comments below. Okay, so Sunday afternoon, markets are a little bit thin after a busy day yesterday. So I'm going to take this opportunity just to trade a race here on baby stakes to answer this question. So I won't be using any more than sort of 2500 quid. And you can see I've pulled up the race nice and early. And I say early because 6 minutes before the start there's not a huge amount of activity going on. Previous race is still going on. So just sorting the ladders out there, you can see from the Betfair graph at the bottom, this Trilliant is one that's possibly of interest, as is the favourite at this point in time. So it's too early to actually start getting involved. So the first thing I'm going to do is just sit back and take a look at this market and absorb the information. I think it's far too easy for people to just come straight into this and start clicking away before they even really got much of an idea for what's going on. Now, the first thing that I am relatively confident about at this point in time is Italian heiress is, not particularly appealing in the market. So I've put a speculative lay trade in there for 25 quid. It's 5 minutes before the start. We've got plenty of time, and hopefully that'll drift a little. Worst case, I'll take a couple of ticks loss. 6.8 will be my get out for that one. And I'm not particularly worried about that for now. So I'm just going to leave that while I start to focus elsewhere on the market. Obviously, more money coming for the other runners is ideal because that's going to push that Italian heiress further away. So, looking at this, we've got 5 minutes to the start. But I'm looking for sustained support within the market on the favourite or this Trilliant. Now, Trilliant's just sort of sat there resisting around about the 6.0. So I'm not going to get too excited just yet. I'm going to fire up the Betfair live video if it's available and see what's happening. Now, as you can see, the market's quite static, so at this point in time there's absolutely no rush to get involved. Activity will pick up closer to the start, and that's where I'm more interested because I want the market to do the work for me. I don't want to be sort of overactive, trying to trade too hard, losing myself in a situation. Another thing that is regular for people sort of coming into this. Now, Trilliant seems to have all but dried up for a second, so I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do here. The favourite is looking as though it's reasonably solid in the market, and as the activity picks up and all the money starts to pour in, you probably find that that's where there'll be a little flurry in price if something's going to move. So we'll start off with £25 on Lightning Dance here. Now, I've cut it out for recording purposes, but at this point in time I've got the Betfair live video running, and they actually mention on the TV stream that the favourite is a little bit warm down at the start. Nothing drastic. They're not saying the horse is sweating up badly, but they just said the horse is a bit warm at the start and they're not so sure that they're happy about that. So I've closed that trade out there for 30 pence loss or so. And I think, to be honest, with that happening, that means that Trilliant, now it's pushed through that 6.0 as well, that's going to be the one that get on. That's the one I'm a little bit more comfortable to put a little bit of money behind. So I've backed it for 75, got another 25 on for 100, and you can see straight away I've got that £25 lay bet on the side there to offset my green position. Now, that happened quite quickly, so I will break this down and put this in a blog post, step by step for people to watch as well. But what I've done there is I've just offsetted my position quite quickly. So I went in for 100 and got 50 of it out straight away. Now, yes, that has cut some of my profit a little bit shorter, but it's managing my downside, it's managing my risk within the market. I'm not getting myself into a sticky situation. The whole idea being I just want to limit my exposure. Now, I've backed it again and laid it again, so I'm sort of scalping with an opinion that is moving in one direction here. And you can see I'm hovering over the profit and loss column there on the Geeks toy to get out of this should it go bad, because it's just slowed down for a second. Obviously the favourites hit 9 to 4, which is 3.25 in the market. It could be that there's a bit of resistance on the favourite that's going to slow this movement down on Trilliant as well. Third runner there, we've got that small £25 trade's going quite well as well. So we're in a good position here. Now the first thing to do is just to actually let it play out a little, because it's quite easy to exit too soon. Now
At 5.3, you can see there's a fair amount of resistance. 5.9 thousand if you look at the traded volume bars matched. And so that's why I've exited this position on Trilliant. I was hoping it would go a little bit further, but it hasn't. That resistance has sort of halted our trade. Fortunately, been the match on Italian Heiress, it's drifted out nicely there. Taking much more than that, it's a little bit greedy I think at this point in time. So we'll close out our position, and then what I'm doing is I'm sitting back and I'm reassessing the market once more. So it's all about assessing the market more than it is actually being active a lot of the time. Obviously not every move can go on forever. So jiggling my ladders about there. I like to have it so my ladders are all relatively similar, you know, in line with each other, so I can see if something deviates quite quickly in the market. And it's not really looking like I'm going to get my hedge figure out on Trilliant there, and Paris Rooftops dipping back in. So let's see if we can nick a couple of ticks here on this. So on for 25. So these £25 stakes is half the joy of using very small stakes, and it looks like it should get filled. Close that up in a second. Half the joy, sorry, of using small £25 stakes is the fact that, you know, you can nip in and out of the market. If you get it wrong, you can close out, and you know the market's not going to move against you. If you're on for 300-400 quid, then you're going to move the price a tick or two, which is less than ideal. Now, one thing to note there, obviously I've lost a quid. However, I just took the loss quite quickly. I took the loss straight away. I didn't hold on to it, get upset about it. Just took the loss, not a problem. Reassess the market again. It's getting close to the start now. Obviously, you can see the scheduled off time over on the left. It's gone past post time. Horses are starting to load into the stalls. So we've got plenty of activity going on, and I'm just going to try and steal a couple more ticks out of the market here. I'm just going to plug some orders either side of the price, making use of the turnover in the market. Now, nice and easy. On for 25, on for 50. Looks like that should get filled. Yep, so that's another two £25 stakes through the market for one tick. And let's just keep trying to nail this through as quick as we can. Build out a couple of quid, take it up from that 11 quid or so. It's 12 something now. But making use of this little late flurry of money in the market. Not really a lot to say other than the fact that, you know, most of the prices here seem quite static once more. Looking at the market overview. Market overview, very important tool. Extremely helpful in the Geek Store there. And I'm on the wrong side of that there. Well, it's just, in fact, that big money has put me off. Could possibly jump in front of that if it starts to move in the other direction. Let's give it a go. So using that big money there as an assistance, just for 25 quid. I mean, if it goes against me, I'll just scratch it quickly, which it looks like it's going to do. We'll just scratch it there. I haven't won nothing, but I haven't lost nothing. Not a problem. There's a few more horses to go in as yet. Might be able to get another couple of ticks in the market. Obviously 12.87 for £25 a click, you know, up to 100 at one point for a split second. It's not too bad. You can see right at the top there the traded volume has slowed down. I'm talking about the overall market traded volume. So it looks like there's a little flurry for Paris Rooftops once more here. So I'll get 25 in. Took take SP if the race starts because it's getting to the last couple. And although I'm on an open position there, it looks as though the pressure was actually with our back bets on Paris Rooftops. So I'm not going to panic. Last couple just about to go in now. Obviously, so the lay bet is selected at take the starting price in play. So I'm covered. I'm not going in play here unless it bounces up, takes on them back bets, and I'll either scratch it or take it for a tick anyway. Let's see if we can get it filled. It's teasing us. That must be near the bottom of the queue now. That lay bet. Last one's just gone in. Right. Okay. So the race went in play there, and the £25 position that I had open was hedged straight away. But you know, £13.36, can't really grumble. £25 stake. So when people ask how much is possible, now you know.